had
connected to
a
2000.
right,
From
yeah,
the
we painted
beginning,
them
we
over and
painted
have
all the
coffee.
bridges,
It's
and
like,
we
okay.
had
They
we
are
did have
such a nice
T-shirts.
place.
We got a lot of the Union College kids. We had them, and we did it just about every Saturday. And we painted the I think it was 11 bridges. We painted them all green, cleaned up all around them, got all the bush and brush and everything around them. So all the yeah, and all the what do you call it there? The people that would jump off the train, the hobos, didn't have a place to hide out anymore.
Yeah.
So we trimmed them all up. We painted them all up. In fact, the first one we did, we put the little Schenectady 2000 logo on it. It's still there, the one on Weaver Street, one that gets hit by the trucks all the time.
Yeah.
But no, we did quite a few bridges, and we got permission from the D&H. That was the railroad at the time. They would tell us what time a train was going through, and everybody had to move away from the bridge, and then we'd paint it. And the fire department actually even came, hosed them down before we did them. And then we did a lot of cleanups on Broadway. We would clean up the exit there, the exit ramps right there,
Yes.
because it was amazing.
Yes.
You take away five-gallon pails of cigarette butts. Right there.
That's notorious.
And we did it for quite a few years, and we had. I
Why
was
did
amazed.
Why did that kind of peter out?
Well, we got to 2000, basically. We had a big gala at Union College,
Right.
and that was basically the end of it. They said we had done what we were going to do, and I tried to talk them into coming back to making it 2020 that we can see
Right.
more to do.
Right.
Yeah.
In hindsight, that would have been a good idea.
And it just was that we Metroplex had started up at the time, so that was the natural progression from where we were. Roger. But no, I think it's I mean I miss those Saturdays of cleaning up and things like that. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Met a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get people involved. Like he said, getting with the community outreach. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
The city employees can't do it because we don't have enough to do it anyhow. So we can't rely on the city to do it. So we're going to have to take matters into our own hands.
The city was nice. They would put a dumpster out for us.
Yeah.
Wherever we were doing it, they would pop
that
the
makes
dumpster.
life easier.
And if we raked up, we'd throw all the leaves in there, and then they'd come just like one of those.
Yeah. Right. Like
Take it
when
away.
we went to Woodlawn.
Yeah, they take it up to the county dump and put it all out.
Well, it's been 10 years, so it's time to restart, I guess.
I think we got it started. Like you say, maybe 2020, huh?
Yeah.
It's going to be 2020.
That's right.
Call it
Going
that.
with the eyesight thing, we can see more to do.
Yeah. There's a lot to do.
We can see there's a lot to do. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably more now than there was back then.
Yes. But no, we took out. It had to be like 4 tons of steel out of there.
Steel?
Yep.
Yeah, just dumped.
But that was before.
It was just dumped. Yeah,
Yeah.
tires, wheels,
Recycle.
the carts from
Or
the
it was worth
supermarkets
money.
and everything. It was amazing, all the steel we took out of the hills around Vale Park. And that's what I think that's what really got that started at Vale Park, because we had a whole Vale Park task force with 2,000. And it was entrances, and then we had the Vale Park, and then what else did we have? We had 3 parts. Then we had Central Downtown, where we were basically cleaning up, sweeping the sidewalks, and doing the graffiti thing. We actually bought. That's when Susan was a pinhead was on the wall there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had that power washed off, and then we got about 4 different types of anti-graffiti coatings put on there, and then somebody went back and put Susan Still Remains to be a
Oh, Roger.
Yeah.
So soon as a pinhead, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah, that was during the 2000 time
Yep.
when we were trying to get that off the
that
wall.
was the first bridge I painted.
Yep.
I kind of like that.
I did too.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, it was
Yeah.
kind of like
Everybody always talked about it.
I kind of would like to put it back.
Well, it's an
They got the
icon.
bar,
Yeah, that's
you
it.
know,
And they have a bar named after John's thing, and he's right. Is we need community outreach because we don't have the city help to do these things anymore.
Well, volunteerism is important, as you and I have discussed many a time. And Schenectady 2000 is a perfect example of how one does do things. But there's certain basic things that one should expect from the city, given the fact we pay the highest taxes in the capital district. And to have the highest taxes and no services makes not a lot of sense. But the question, talk about apathy. Where's the age? Where's the passion? Where
Right.
are the people?
Yeah.
Where's the concern?
That's the apathy part, and that's the part that's sad. How do you overcome that?
I think they're beaten down and abused.
confused over these years. That's what happened. I think that's where you're at right now. Get hit every year with taxes and fees, paying more and more every year.
Well,
And my house isn't worth as much.
That's right. Well, I mentioned it last night, and it's fact. If this budget had been done honestly, and we were paying the things that we've already incurred as bills, we would see not the 4.6% increase in taxes. You and I are in full agreement that fees and taxes are one and the same thing, but another 20% on top of it. And they're kicking the can down the road.
We need
We
people
need
in
a
office
cultural change and a mindset change.
to make the laws.
Even in school, I mean, they don't teach civics in school anymore. I mean, as far as
You watch the news and the kids watch the news and it's just like, okay, the police department's a joke. It's just the mentality that nobody cares. Nobody from the top down really cares, so why should we? Why can't I just throw my stuff out on the street? Why? Garbage men don't pick it up if they dump a can. They don't empty the cans. They throw them halfway across the street.
He gets his garbage. I've seen it too. They dump it. They're in a hurry to dump it. They dump it. The stuff's on the ground. It wasn't that way before.
No.
They had to pick it up if it's overspilled. There is a broom and a shovel
We got
on the
Mayor
truck,
Duci.
but they don't do it.
Frank Kane.
There's an icon.
We got the people that really care about Schenectady showing.
Yeah, it's coming though.
I mean, kids are going to party, but what I always had the fraternities do was clean up after their party the next day. They had to have it done by noon the next day.
How are you, Mr.
Hi, Roger.
How are you,
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Mr. Mayor.
Mary Rose.
Yes. Hi, David. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for showing up.
Yes, I had a commitment and I got out of it a little bit.
I'm listening to Vandenberg saying, "Oh, Hull's not a Republican. What did the Republican Party do?" It's amazing to me, absolutely amazing to me. Attack me for what I say, but don't attack me. And he has a major problem, obviously, with Schenectady.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Well, come on over. I'll give you a tourist stockade. It's on the water." I mean, so we'll see. He said, "Well, I'll have you on next week. We'll see if he does."
Another thing, when we were in there for 4 successive years, 92 through 95 when we left, the budget was $43 million. Today it's $73 million. And why? Because of their excessive spending, increasing the salaries for the mayor and department heads. Some of them are getting about $110,000 a year. And a combination of all those things. No economy in their budget. You know what I mean? No economy.
Runaway overtime for the
Yeah,
police and fire,
Right.
particularly the police unions.
Yeah.
And the question is what you do about it, and what's clear to me,
Right.
if you want to do something about it, you don't have the same people who brought it about
Exactly.
continue in office.
Yep.
And as I said last night, you don't reward your children for bad behavior. Why do you reward your politicians for poor performance?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought you won the debate going away. You were head over heels above the other fellow.
Well,
in my humble
but you're biased.
estimation.
You're biased.
Yeah, I'm biased, and I
Well,
really thought you did a
It
good
was fun.
job.
It was the first time I've ever been in a debate, and so I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I wish we had not had that break in the middle. It would have been a lot better to just keep going. I also wish we'd not had to try and deal with questions over which a mayor has no control, such as the Gilboa Dam and the whole question of fracking. Both important issues, but the mayor's not going to decide those issues.
Right.
Well, the B'nai B'rith Forum is in a much different venue. It's a smaller room. It's very intimate, and each candidate will have 3 or 4 minutes to give opening remarks,
Right.
and then we'll open it up right to the audience. We'll circulate a mic around. And
There's a
there'll be,
question for both of us, and good.
A question and answer for both of
Good.
you with a rebuttal opportunity
Perfect,
too.
perfect.
We'll have a guideline.
Good.
And we'll get you that ahead of time.
Okay.
And we'll have a timekeeper there.
Okay.
So I'm sure you'll feel comfortable in that.
Oh,
setting,
absolutely.
too.
I think what would be probably good is not to have the reading of prayer remark. Gary read his opening and closing statement last night. I think it should be, He knows his stuff. I know my stuff. Let's talk without. You want to bring notes up there? That's fine, but don't read things.
There's a guy that's been speaking on behalf of the people since 1492.
He looks pretty good.
You were mayor when I started, come to think of it. And Paul was corporation counsel. Yeah, that goes back a ways.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. Good many years, good. And I think the people realize that you have been out there speaking in their behalf, Yeah.
It's passion, you do it because you want to. So, no other reason. That's how it works.
But it comes down to the very basic point, as I tried to make last night. Are we better off or not? And if people feel they are, then they shouldn't vote for us.
I told them that last week. The week before, same
Had they
thing.
listened to this professor from Union College when I was mayor, and we were putting together Center City, and I came back and told them that they could get a federal grant for the building and for a parking garage, which the professor laid out, and also over Chase Street to have the seats over that way, where you would have about 3,500 seats. What do? They just turn their back to that. They put in a contraption like that that could only seat about 200 people, and no parking garage. Yeah, and it was ridiculous. They wasted all that money.
Who was the professor?
I can't think of his name. I'd have to look at my what's called, but he was really sharp. I'm just trying to think. Wait a minute, Ned Harkness?
The hockey coach?
Yeah, maybe.
At Union.
Yeah, maybe that was Ned Harkness. But he had a great plan, and the council completely ignored it, turned their back to it. And it's the same way when DeBarlo came here, one of the greatest contractors in the United States, was going to put up a wall behind Proctor's, put up a no parking garage, okay? And all he wanted was a little tract of land, And we'd have had it paid. What'd they do? They ignored him, and he finally left, After I brought him here.
Eddie DeBarlo, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he was ready to do it, and we wouldn't have had to put up the parking garage. Today, taxpayers are paying millions of dollars for that garage, and they're still paying for it.
And they're losing $1 million a year on it.
You're damn right. Yeah.
Frank was adamant about that. I remember.
That's right. Raised holy hell about that.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did, and it happened anyhow.
And the councils just completely turned their back to it. That's what I say. They've been in there 32 years. They don't belong there anymore.
It's
They
all
don't belong
special
there.
interest stuff. That's what it is.
I mean, they've destroyed the city. Now we're going to raise a little hell about that tomorrow.
But then I hear that working together works.
Yeah.
Who does it work for?
Yeah,
It
right.
isn't working for us. I know that.
That's right. That's right.
The few people who are in control.
That's it. That's who it's working for.
Well, I tried to make that point last night.
Yes. Well, I even, as a matter of fact, at our debate, I said it flat out. I said, I keep hearing working together works. I said, where's it working? I don't see where it's working. I must be missing something here. Because we had some of the candidates saying how great things are. All these things happen.
Yeah.